Sightings of a werewolf on the loose have been confirmed in the Cursed Apple. If spotted, keep your distance because Silver is known to bite first and ask questions later. My name is Daisy, and I'll be your host today on Dead Air. With a full moon setting on the night of her release, I'll be giving the spotlight to the 35th hero in Deadlock, Silver.
I'm gonna be washing a whole lot of blood out of my fur tonight.
As a bounty hunter afflicted with the Lycan Curse, Silver has honed her senses, mastered the art of the hunt, and is bloodthirsty to summon the patron. In lore, Lila Silver is described as a hot mess, a smoking, drinking, ass-kicking bounty hunter who's carving her own path in the Cursed Apple. But let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. First, we're going to have a closer look at Silver's animations and visual design. Silver is unique in that she has two models, human form and werewolf form. She'll start games of Deadlock in her human form, being able to transform after her bloodlust builds up. She hints in her voice lines she's been living with the Lycan Curse her whole life, and you can see the visual fragments of her ailments represented by her left hand's discoloration and hair growth, alongside what big ears she has sticking out of her luscious mane. Of course, we can't forget her puffy tail that swings around on her adventures throughout the Cursed Apple. Very cute. Her adorable freckled face also depicts a gnarly scar of a claw mark across her right cheek. Wonder where those came from. Her outfit has some cool dynamic elements, my particular favorite being her handcuffs, a reference to her role as a bounty hunter. And definitely not Half-Life. Intentional or not? Speculate in the comments down below. But to be for real, I love, whether on purpose or not, they seem to resemble a 3 when resting on her character model. I guess Valve really can count to 3 after all. The overall fit, though, has many rips and broken seams from Silver's constant transformations taking a toll on her clothes, with some neat attention to detail from Valve. You'll also notice her bola attached to her hip seems to be carved in the shape of a wolf paw, with multiple moons highlighted on her model, one on her collar and the other attached to her jacket in the form of a patch. It's clear, her lycanthrope culture runs deep. Silver even has the boots with the fur, and the whole team is certainly going to be looking at her when the Lycan Curse kicks in and she's forced to transform into her werewolf form. Once transformed, you'll see her amber eyes begin to glow with a furious rage of the curse inside of her. Silver's hair turns into a wolf's mane that is drastically larger in size, and her stature grows substantially as well. When the curse takes over, she actually has one of the largest models in Deadlock, even standing taller than Abrams and Victor. Definitely some step-on-me energy. Her tattered clothes become ripped jean shorts, and what remains of her jacket resembles a vest. As a wolf, she'll wrap her gigantic paws around the ley line to traverse the Cursed Apple in terrifying style. Her movement and attack animations have frantic animalistic variants in her wolf form. However, she's confident and quick in her human form. While a few of her animations still seem to be leftovers from 7's animation set, you can clearly see the creativity in the ones that are fleshed out. Now, a quick note from us, if you're enjoying today's Heroes Showcase, why not subscribe to Dead Air? It's completely free and supports us greatly in being able to bring these videos out to you as soon as possible. Myself and Jackie are always innovating to make the highest quality Deadlock content we can, and love doing this full time. So if you want to be extra cool and support us even further, please consider joining our YouTube members program to become a Deadhead today. You'll be featured in the credits of Patch Notice alongside extra content. Thank you, and now back to the video. Up next, we can look at Silver's signature firearm, Hair of the Dog. A genius name for her gun, with its roots stemming from both a phrase for a hangover cure and Silver's alcoholism, alongside referencing very old folklore that putting a hair from a dog that bit you into a wound could cure the bite. Interesting stuff. In Silver's case, less dog bite, more wolf. In any case, styled after a cowboy repeater rifle, her gun outputs 5.5 bullet damage a shell at base level. Her shells break into 7 bullets per shot. It's a single-shot rifle that operates like Abrams' gun, case closed, allowing you to interrupt the reload and manually load it bullet by bullet. Pretty cool. It sports a 5-round ammo capacity when fully loaded, alongside a 0.5-second reload time per shell. With 813 meters a second bullet velocity, she's got the second highest bullet velocity in the entire game, beaten only by Lady Geist and Mirage, tied in first place with 828. So make sure you take advantage of her quick draw. Fall-off range will kick in over a period of 16 to 46 meters. Her gun lacks an alternate fire, with her mouse 2 being a standard aim-down sight function. I think Valve forgot that they used to make alt-fires in this game. I wonder if any of the new heroes in this batch will have an alt-fire. Comment Valve, please bring back alt-fires down below now. Now, in regards to Silver's melee, her light melee deals 50 damage, and her heavy melee deals 116 damage on hit. Her light melee animation is a combination of her hitting her target with her rifle, or sweeping them with her Lycan afflicted hand. In wolf form, this is a quick slash with her left paw. However, for her heavy melee, she will dive forward with a classic animation, kicking her foes with a strong left kick. When transformed, this is replaced with a powerful smack from her right paw. Woof. Moving on to stats. At base level, Silver's HP pool comes in at 725, with a base regen of 2. Her base move speed is 6.7 meters per second, with a 1.5 meter sprint speed bonus. She also has 2 stamina charges with a 4.5 second stamina cooldown. Now, let's sharpen our teeth and bite down on Silver's kit. There's a lot to digest here, with her sporting 3 extra abilities than any other hero in the game, thanks to her secondary wolf form. So, we'll be starting with her human form abilities and moving on to her wolf abilities once we're done. Her first primary ability is Slam Fire. Silver will instantly reload her gun, gaining 300% bonus fire rate and dealing 4% of her target's current health as bonus weapon damage. Be able to fire her weapon 3 times with Slam Fire, but suffers an accuracy reduction penalty of 25% due to the adrenaline rush causing shaky hands. Less precise, but more punishing. You'll know if Silver has activated Slam Fire due to the white glow appearing on her weapon. It has quite the shine to it and makes a clear impression that you're about to be in for a burst of damage. Looking at its ability point upgrades, at Tier 1 she will shave off 4 seconds from Slam Fire's cooldown. At Tier 2 she will gain an additional 30% weapon damage. And finally, at Tier 3, she will unlock 10% of her target's current HP dealt as damage if Silver hits all of her shots on Slam Fire. Pretty crazy. Moving on to her second ability, Boot Kick. Silver will dive forward and kick the first enemy she makes contact with in a 14-meter radius. This will deal 57 melee damage and marking them for 3 seconds. This Hunter's Mark will cause the target to take 25 bonus spirit damage upon the first shot that connects before removing the mark, almost like a classic D&D Ranger class. Boot Kick acts as an ability to close the distance with Silver, and disengage all in one since it'll launch her backwards around 15 meters. She will also simultaneously knock the target forward a short distance when making contact. Looking at her ability point upgrades for Boot Kick, at Tier 1 she can step on you 6 seconds sooner. On Tier 2, she gets 2 stamina restored on an enemy hit. And lastly, Tier 3 will unlock a negative 25% damage reduction on hit for 5 seconds. Now, let's have a look at Silver's third ability, Entangling Bola. Throw a bola that deals 40 spirit scaling damage on hit, applying a negative 20% move speed slow and stopping the use of movement abilities, alongside stamina usage, or even jumping from your target. Bola is an interesting skill shot based ability, throwing a physical projectile with effectively no range cap, allowing you to throw it from one bridge buff to the other. That's absolutely crazy. However, it does have a noticeable drop over long distances, and you'll need to prepare your aim accordingly. AP upgrades for Bola at Tier 1 applies a further 25% negative move speed debuff. Tier 2 will grant Bola an additional 0.75 seconds increase to the move speed debuff duration. And at Tier 3, it gets really good, allowing the Bola to ricochet to 2 additional targets. I'll definitely be upgrading this one. Lastly then, for her human abilities, let's talk about where it gets really interesting. Her transformative Lycan Curse ultimate ability effectively unlocks an entire secondary kit for Silver to play with, the first hero of its kind to do so. However, it does come with some unique trade-offs. Lycan Curse acts as a passive ultimate, charging up slowly over time as damage is dealt to enemies. This is described in the game as generating bloodlust. Once you've reached maximum bloodlust, Silver will be unable to hold back the Lycan's Curse and automatically transform into her spunky werewolf self. You can also instantly activate the ability at max bloodlust to skip the transformation time and become a wolf straight away. But either way, you've got no choice. You must transform. When the curse takes over, you'll gain 350 bonus health, 80% extra fire rate, and 3 meters a second additional move speed. So a huge buff there. She'll also receive 30% missing health as healing alongside 20% resistance to both bullets and spirit damage. However, her whole kit shifts entirely upon transformation, and it's up to the player to adapt the werewolf curse as well as its unpredictable timing. Her Lycan Curse AP upgrades work as follows. At Tier 1, she'll get 15% extra resistance against spirit and bullet-based damage. Reaching Tier 2 will push her move speed up by another 3 meters a second, while also granting 125 extra bonus health. Then lastly, Tier 3 will unlock the ability on kill to recharge her abilities, ultimate duration, and transformation heal. A super strong Tier 3 upgrade that will do wonders for you. Silver's entire kit will also be replaced with close combat-oriented abilities, now focused on melee range. Her first ability, Slam Fire, becomes Go for the Throat. This is a 7-meter range melee attack in which she bites down in a cone radius, dealing 105 melee damage to her targets and gaining a heal back for 13% of her missing health as damage, alongside gaining 65% lifesteal. The AP upgrades for this ability will result in plus 30 damage at Tier 1, 25% lifesteal at Tier 2, and finally plus 5% missing health as damage at Tier 3. Her second ability, Boot Kick, will now become Mauling Leap. Silver leaps forward into her enemies, mauling the first target she hits for 95 melee damage. This also shatters their bullet resistance by a negative 20%, and deals a tasty 25 spirit damage per second for 6 seconds. AP upgrades on Mauling Leap will provide 10 extra damage a second at Tier 1, reduce the cooldown by 9 seconds at Tier 2, and further reduce the enemy's bullet resistance by a negative 12% when reaching Tier 3. Lastly, Bola will become Tail Lack. I guess Silver learned that one from a TM. Your starter, Silver, will spin around in a large circular area of effect, dealing 70 spirit damage to targets hit alongside disarming them for 3.5 seconds, and reducing their move speed by a negative 70% for 1.5 seconds. At the Tier 1 AP upgrade, you'll be given 25 extra damage. When hitting Tier 2, she'll reduce the move speed of enemies by 110%. And at Tier 3, she finally unlocks an additional 1 second to her disarm duration, bringing it to a whopping total of 4.5 seconds. And that's everything you need to know about Silver's very unique 7-ability kit. Wow, that was a doozy. But for a quick final hero overview, Silver offers a mixture of utility-based gameplay and closing the gap on enemies and keeping a safe distance to fight at range with her human kit. She thrives in the melee zone when her Lycan's Curse takes over and is at her best up close and personal. With the right timing, she can fully interrupt a team fight, causing chaos and applying debuffs to cripple her foes. She's got a bit of everything and has a somewhat unique learning curve to time the use of her abilities and ultimate effectively. For those of you who have stuck around till the end of the video, here's a secret top tip for Silver. All gun items work on Silver's werewolf form, so investing in Ricochet, Express Shot, and many other gun items are super viable with her wolf form melee attacks. She's also effectively got thousands of souls worth of utility items baked into her kit, so I think she's sleeper OP. Don't judge her till you've limit tested her builds is all I'll say. But like they say, the recommended amount of wolves inside of you at any given time is 0. Whereas in Silver's case, it's one gigantic snarling Lycan. So with that said, leave your comments at the door, and release your inner werewolf in the cursed apple. Thank you for watching, Deadheads. If you liked the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help us make more of this content in the future. If you really enjoy Jackie and I's Deadlock content here on Dead Air, please consider joining our members program. It really helps us out. Otherwise, I've got a few hundred games of Silver to go play, so I'll see you next time. This has been your host, Daisy from Dead Air. Bye for now.